Alright, so this is my attempt at showing you a video for finding the slope graphically. There is the watch help video in Delta Math. You can watch his. It is helpful. He'll go a little bit further in depth. Here are the instructions. Draw a line representing the rise of a line and a line representing the run of the line. State the slope of the line in simplest form. When he says in simplest form, it just simply means that if you got like 5 over 5, that's going to be the whole number 1, etc. Here's also some additional instructions. Click twice to plot each segment. Click a segment to delete it. Okay, so here's how I would attack these problems. Start on the left. Your first click will be if this red dot, see this dot that I move around, if that dot is exactly on the line where the blue line is. So I'm going to click there. And then notice that when I move this, a line segment attaches to it. That's my first job. So that dot was on the line, so I clicked on it. When I move to the right 1 unit, notice that the red dot is below the line. Below the line. Now it's above the line. Above the line. And once the line snaps to itself, in other words, the red dot is right on the blue line, that's where we want to focus on making our second point. I'm not going to click there, but when I find my second point, I'm going to move the cursor back to the left until this line turns vertical. So notice I went down here and I went up 1 unit. On a number line, if I went from +4 to +5, that would be a +1 or a +1. So when I come down here to my slope, I'm going to put my fraction bar in, and the number on top is +1 because right here I went up 1. Now my third click, I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now notice I've made my triangle. I went up 1, and then I went right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And notice on this horizontal line, I went from -10 to -5, and you would have to add 5. And if I add 5, that's going to be a positive. So in other words, when you move to the right, it's positive. If you move to the left, it's negative. If you move up, it's positive. And if you move down, it's negative. So again, I moved to the right. So that's going to be a +5. And I'm going to submit the answer. And we got the green old check mark. We're good to go. Okay, let's do another question. I think most of these, once you get used to snapping the line, then we're good. New problem. Okay. So I am going to start on the left, and it looks like my line actually works perfectly, so I'm going to make my first click. I'm going to travel along the blue line, and once the red dot lines up again, that's where I'm going to focus on that point. I'm not going to click on it, but that's where I'm going to focus. And to me, it looks like we got it right there. I'm going to move my cursor to the left, second click. So to me, I actually went down 2 units. And so I'm going to put a fraction bar, and if I went down 2, that's a -2, a subtract 2. Going back up to the point, I'm going to click a third time, and then I'm going to move to the right 1. And again, on the number line, when I move to the right, numbers get bigger, so that's going to be a +1. So it's going to be -2 over a +1. I'm simply going to write m equals -2 over 1 on my worksheet, and that's all the work you have to show. Most of this is just going to be done right on the graph. Submit answer. Got a check mark, we're good. New problem. So starting on the left, that is not on the line. That is not on the line. That is not. No, getting closer. And finally the red dot lines up on the line. So there's my first click. Again, I'm going to travel along this line until the second dot lands on it. Don't click a second time, but just stop there and focus on that. So no, 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 getting closer, and then finally we get it. Don't click there. Now move the cursor to the left and click it a second time. I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I went down 5, that's a -5. So put the fraction bar. The number on the top is -5 because I went down 5. Click on this dot. This is my third click, and now I'm going to move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I move to the right on a number line, that's getting bigger, and it got bigger by 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So on the bottom, I'm going to put a positive 4. So the slope, or m, you're going to write m equals negative 5 over 4, and we're good to go. New problem. Okay, starting on the left, and it looks like that red dot snapped on the line, so I'm going to go right there. And it looks like that snapped right there. Don't click on that. Now I move it to the left, make the vertical line, and click on it. There's my second click. So I went up 1, 2, 3 units. Coming down here to slope, backslash, and I went up 3 units. So notice 1, 2, 3. Third click, and then I move to the right 1 unit. And then when I move to the right, that's a positive. So the number on the bottom is a 1. So my slope is 3 over 1. Okay, going over to the line, this looks really close. It's really tempting, but to me it looks a little bit below, so let's keep searching. No. Again, really close, but to me this is perfect. And I just want to focus on this. If you see something that looks pretty close, but you're not 100%, keep looking until you find one like that where you know for sure that it's right there in the middle. Okay. Traveling along the line, that's close. And that looks good. Notice that the red dot is right on the middle of the line. And now I'm going to move the cursor to the left. And once it turns vertical, I'm going to click on it a second time. And I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So after giving myself a fraction bar, I went up 5 units. And when I go up 5 units, that's a positive. Click a third time, and now I'm going to move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So I had positive 5, and when I move to the right, it's positive. There's going to be 5 over 4. I was hoping we'd get one that we had to simplify. Let's try one more time. No. It may not give us one. Last chance. And it didn't. All right. I am going to call it quits at this. Again, I just want to remind you, if you end up getting 2 points and you had like a positive 1 over 1, don't write that as 1 over 1, write it as 1. If you had a negative 1 over 1, that's going to simplify to negative 1. So otherwise, it's going to mark it wrong, but I'm sure you'll get it.